Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how you will have to stop beating yourself up. You are gonna have to stop beating yourself up, you know what I mean? And I know a lot of times we all got a tendency of looking back at some of our mistakes or just some of the avenues that we took that, you know, we wasn't too happy of. You know, that the outcomes wasn't too pleasant. You know, we felt like we could have put more into it. And we gotta realize that we are in a spiritual physical war, you know what I mean? And a lot of things have been clashing. So how things was 10 years ago is not the same as it is today. And you can walk outside your house and you'll see that for yourself. But what happens is when we in this place of growing and ascending, the system is still doing what it's doing, which is moving numbers around. It's doing things with these fires. It's doing things with these chemicals. It's doing all kind of things to kind of keep your energy thrown off, to kind of keep your vibration as low as possible. So like, just understanding, like, when you wake up in the AM and you getting back to this realm and you get hit with all the pressures of the world that's happening around you and, you know, the walk of life you've been living, you know what I mean? You have to understand that the system has structured it this way for it to be this way. They are applying pressure from every area and avenue possible, you know what I mean? So even if you have like your finances together, you're gonna have your relationships crumbly. You may have great relationships and you got crumbly finances, you know what I'm saying? Some people got both, but they still don't know how to be within honestly and following natural law in the vibration of things without being a, you know, like a robot zombie out here just walking along, just doing what they supposed to be operating doing as far as if they helping the witchy team out. So, but this was really for like a lot of us who's just in that space, because it's gonna happen whether you're in it right now, whether you was in it past tense, or whether you going into it later on in the future, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those humps that we face while we're in the midst of this battle, you know what I mean? And just understanding, like, it's a lot of people out here that's grinding and working, that's raising their vibration, you know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking for the zombie bots and all of these other ones. The ones of us that's really in this space wholeheartedly, you know what I'm saying? And it just seemed like you just got so much resistance, and there's more resistance. And even when you get certain things figured out, you know what I'm saying? It's like the way they fluctuate in these numbers out here so much, they getting rid of the middle. There's gonna be no more middle. So you got a lot of us out here that's grinding, putting in a lot of hours to get this chicken and cheese, you know what I'm saying, this money. A lot of us out here, you know what I'm saying, and you realizing that you still are looking at the same circumstances and situations, even though it seemed like you've been making more money or you've been putting in more hours, you know what I'm saying? We have so many obstacles to face that you gotta remember as well too, like, if you cutting off old habits, the system has a plethora of traps to remind you of it or to point out the other ones that you have going on within you to work on. So now as you're removing some, you got the light shining on other ones as you're still going through this life, helping and trying to heal as many people and get yourself in a better space and place, you know what I mean, and just create a better energetic environment around your space, you know what I mean? A lot of us have been fighting, you know, you gotta understand, like, for you to make it to this place, in this space, in your transition, in this realm, in this world, like, you have to fight. You had to have been fighting the good fight, you know? You look at it like this. You see some people get grown and older and they get programmed in their spaces. Some people are programmed in at teenagers, you know what I mean? Because it's been a lot of work applied. So if you got a lot of people who programmed to be witchy because they spent a lot of time inner space projecting it outwardly, then you should already know that they may not shift out of that space. That playbook has a strong grasp on it. That's no different with us following the playbook we follow. Some of us have just been in this playbook so long that there is no letting go or pushing the playbook somewhere else. You know what I mean? And it's like, if we didn't have that playbook, if we didn't have that understanding of what was going on, a lot of us wouldn't even be in the positions that we in right now. So you just have to understand, like, it don't matter how hard and shitty things get. Long as you keep your light and you keep your connection with the source, you know what I'm saying, is solid as you possibly can, it's always going to take care of you. Always, 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 always. I haven't had it fail yet, you know what I'm saying, and I'm still going through trials and tribulations, you know what I mean? So, for me being in the space where I'm at, using me as an example, it's like, y'all used to know, anybody been following the channel and with the tribe for a while, like, this was daily. Things transitioned after they did the numbers and things, so it's like, I'm not in a space to where it's like, all right, boom, this is like some super big channel, I'm getting thousands of dollars from my YouTube channel because YouTube just let me in the algorithms. No, I do this because I love to do this, but the change isn't coming from there, isn't coming from this. So it's coming from the grind outside of here for me to still be able to do this comfortably how I want to do it. But what it was starting to transition to, it had me missing and minimizing days to get to these dollars more, opposed from trying to get things more organized sooner. But like I was saying, like, when you start working on different things, light starts shining on other things, but then you still got the system that you battling, and you get to the space to where you like brake pads, you know what I mean? Like, if you got a car, you know about cars, your brake pads, your rotors, they burn out on you. Once you use them for so long, you got to replace them. You know what I'm saying? We got to recharge up. We got to understand how hard we are actually working, how much energetically and how much energy we are actually, like, I'm trying to find the right word to kind of like, it's like really concentrated energy. You can have an energy message, you can create the energy ball. If you watch Dragon Ball Z's, you see how they focus the energy is really concentrated energy, and then you can place it where you like to place it at. This is what we do. It just so happens that it's not as many of us out here that's in that space, which is why things is operating. But if you notice, some of the zombie bots that's been in the middle are starting to sway off of that fence. They're swaying off of that fence. You know, the ones that really do want to create that shift, they jump and clear off over here with the creator. Then the other ones, you can see where they're standing at, what they doing by the walk of their life. You know what I mean? And that's just far as for the system, what I was saying about all the tactics they do. The physical system, the spiritual system, we already understand that they done already got to a lot of our family members, a lot of our friends spiritually. So you'll have moments and days and times sporadically, either throughout your day, throughout the week, throughout the month, where, you know what I'm saying, you just get hit with, like, it may feel like an EMP, but it's really like a spiritual attack. Somebody was working some spells on you, talking really down on your name, your energy, putting out a really hard vibration to counter your vibration that you're putting out. You know what I mean? And for me, being in this space for a while now, I've kind of gotten used to being able to become aware of when I get hit with one of those, like, little spiritual waves that just come through. It's like I could be good, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm like in a, like, something is trying to put me in a weird space. Like, I don't really get sad, but I start trying to, like, figure out why the fuck my body feeling like this, or why I feel like this, or why is something trying to pull me in a worry space, or a concern space, or like a fearful space. Like, I've been Gucci. It just comes out of nowhere, just let me get you over here to this space, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, outside of all the other obstacles you fighting alone, you know what I'm saying, we already know the biggest one and the first one is the spiritual one. So once you can take on those ones, it'll make dealing with the systems a lot easier, you know what I mean? And I just say, for example, the other day, I had woke up in that space where just coming back to this realm, I was still good because I was up and I was in a much better space. But I got hit with one of those waves and I just couldn't figure out at the time what was going on. And I had stuff to do and to figure out, so I really wasn't trying to dive into that space to figure out. I was like, nigga, just get through it. And like, shit, that's what you do. Later on that day, I found out that when my brothers had been talking a bunch of shit about me, had been trying to run around and tell everybody like my mom and like some of my other siblings and shit ain't been fucking with me and shit. I'm like, man, I don't care. I never cared anyways. That's why I'm in the space I'm in now. You know what I'm saying? If I cared, or if they was in the space anywhere near me, they would be up here with me. I would have been done shared this whole space with them. We'd have been doing something together. But that had let me know where that energy was coming from. For me, when I get hit with my shits, it's usually within the next 12 hours or so, I'm gonna actually get the ramifications of what was that going on that happened to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I've been riding with the creator. Most of us have been, that's over in this space. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, those little weak ass attacks don't do anything because we got too much work that we put in to show for that. We are walking a life that we are not living ashamed of. Even if we did things that wasn't the most pleasing or aesthetic to us and we know we could have did better, you know what I mean? That's still not the space